One of the most obscure oyster mushrooms, probably the most obscure oyster mushroom I've ever had, the abalone, also known as akurataki. I haven't seen these for at least 8 years, and I ended up having to get a spore syringe to be able to taste them again. I'm going to go over a little brief background on them, then I'm going to show you how to make a really simple mushroom soup and a very simple, very delicious broccoli mushroom stir fry. So these mushrooms are cultivated in China and Japan, and they're known as a difficult species according to some of my cultivator friends. I did not have that much trouble. I grew them with a spore syringe and a substrate of coco coir and vermiculite. I'm totally a noob when it comes to growing mushrooms, and even though I messed up the substrate recipe and had contamination, I still got like a good 2 pounds out of the monotub that I built. These are big and chunky. They're also sold in cans, and that's where the majority of them are going to be in North America. It's going to be in cans in an Asian market. But here, look at the cultivated ones. So these are ones that I got 8 years ago. I ordered through a purveyor called Bix in the Twin Cities. They were so big, so massive, and so thick. They were one of the coolest oyster mushrooms I'd ever had. So I got to include this so you know that the mushrooms I grew may not be a representation of the best quality they can be. If you get the big ones, they're really good cut into strips. They're chewy like a clam and fried up just like you would clams. That's where they get their name abalone mushroom. To make a really simple soup, I'm going to take some beef broth or vegetable broth or mushroom broth. This is so simple, so easy, and I was shocked at how good it was. Part of that is one of my secret ingredients. I take a little scallion, a little bit of tofu, a few sliced mushrooms, and just bring that to a simmer. And instead of soy sauce here, I'm actually going to add some of my fermented ramp leaf garum. I'll put a link to that in the video description. Really fantastic, so easy. You top it off with a little bit of toasted sesame oil, and that is a great simple soup. Stir fry. I had made stir fry in years, and I had a new wok that I don't really love, so I'm probably going to get rid of it. Sorry, company that donated that. For a stir fry, you're going to want to take the mushrooms and cut them into big chunky pieces that are the same size as some broccoli. I just use broccoli because it's such a classic stir fry vegetable. So we're just going to cut them into big meaty pieces. And you'll see here my trick for making stir fry is a little bit non-traditional, but it works really well. And you can use this with any oyster mushroom and all kinds of mushrooms you can cook like this. I'm going to add some oil to the pan first. Typically, you're going to get the oil really hot. Typically, you're going to add the garlic and ginger or whatever you're adding to the smoking hot oil first. I don't do that just because I know, especially cooking at home, throwing garlic into a smoking hot pan is liable to burn it. And you really want the pan ripping hot here. You can see this is on very high heat, as high as it can go. And I'm just going to turn the mushrooms and broccoli around so that their cut side is facing on the pan, just so I can put some color on them first. Because the mushrooms especially are going to taste a lot better if you put a little color on them. So you'll see I get some nice browning on them. After a little bit, this pan is sitting here rocking on high heat. Once I can see that they have a little color, I'll give them a toss. And then you'll see, once I give the pan one more toss here, I'm going to move the vegetables to the side of the pan just a little bit, and I'm going to make a hot spot where I can put a drizzle of oil and then my garlic and ginger. Boom. Then the garlic and ginger cooks. There's no worry about it burning. Then I'm going to add a little stir fry sauce, and I added some ground wild prickly ash to that. It was so good. Cook that for a minute until it's thickened, and everything should be nice and crunchy still. And that's a really simple way to enjoy oyster mushrooms. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about abalone mushrooms. Thanks for watching.